Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Anna and I'm a little bit spooky. And today I thought we'd do some product updates. Just talk about some of the products that I've been using lately and really got a good feel for. Maybe I did a first impression with them. Maybe they're in, like a full face of new at the drugstore or new makeup type of video and they didn't get a full review, or I just reviewed them on my blog, or they're products that I may have had an opinion change on even after reviewing. So, and some of these things I actually haven't even mentioned on my channel, I don't believe. But they're things that I have been using consistently for like the past 3 to 4 months. So I will be doing these videos kind of periodically at some point, whether it be it may be once a month, it may be every quarter, just whenever I feel like I've got a nice little grouping of products that are kind of new that I want to update you on. Am I still loving them? Have I changed my mind? That kind of thing. And we're going to kind of rapid review them, go through them real quick, and just give you the bullet points of the products and what I think about them. So let's go ahead and just get started. But before we do, don't forget to like and subscribe, comment down below. Let me know if you like this format of video. I think it's kind of fun, just something a little different to do instead of just devoted reviews to like a powder or something, I just think it's really nice to go ahead and have these later updates on products because our opinions change over time. What if I change my mind and want to address something with the product? Maybe it disagrees with my skin later down the road, something like that. So yeah, let's just get into this video. So let's get started with the first product I see on top, which is the number 7 Perfect Light Translucent Pressed Powder. I absolutely love this powder so much. I don't know if I talk about it like a whole lot, included in videos, but it's a powder that I go to almost I do every single day. This is like my go-to just daily need to set my face powder on light makeup days because it's such a lightweight, very skin-like finish powder. It's almost virtually undetectable on the skin. It has a glow to it without being shimmery or anything like that. It is just purely like a skin-like finish that this powder offers while still setting your face. I enjoy using it as well as a finishing powder when I've kind of done my makeup and everything and I just want to make sure everything's blended in, like the bronzer and the contour and the blush, make sure everything's harmonious and nice. And yeah, it's just great all over quick dusting powder and just such a very good product. It's a firmly kind of pressed powder. You don't get a whole lot picked up. It is very finely milled and soft. You get just what you need on a brush where you can put it where you want it. And it's not going to overwhelm your face. It's never going to look cakey or powdery or heavy. It's just kind of perfect. A couple of things I really like to use in conjunction with that powder is the Age Perfect Radiant Serum Foundation with SPF 50 antioxidants. Concentrated serum. I have it in Ivory 10, the lightest shade, I do believe. Initially, I was very skeptical of the shade. I didn't think it worked super well with my skin. It definitely does have a cast to it in application, but it kind of goes away and it does oxidize just a tad. I feel like there is a slight oliveness to this and maybe a little bit of a gray cast within it, so bear that in mind. That being said, I think this is a stunning foundation. I really do like it. It is so glowy and so radiant and dewy and just healthy looking. I love how it makes my skin look, and I've been using it pretty dang regular basis since I reviewed it, and I found it to be true to everything I said in the wear test, and I think I've come to like the shade even better now. I don't know, maybe I like a little bit more color on my face. Maybe I don't have to look like the undead all the time. With that, I've also been using the L'Oreal True Match eye cream and a concealer in C12 Fair, which is also the lightest shade. And this one I was real nervous about because it looks so orange in the tube. And when you first put it out on your hand, it has some kind of magic in it and it just blends in and doesn't look orange on my under eyes like I thought it would. It wears very gracefully, very well. It is light coverage. So if you have dark circles or anything like that, it's probably not going to be the product for you. But if you have drier under eyes and you don't have too much trouble with discoloration, this is definitely one to look at. It is very nice and very easy to use. And it doesn't feel tacky or heavy by any means. It's incredibly lightweight and thin. And I usually just apply it with my finger and pat it on, and it does great. I like also combining it with the Hydrating Camo Concealer from e.l.f. I think they make a nice little pair. They play well together if I just want that little bit of extra coverage, if I sleep good or something and have a little bit of darkness. But I don't have, dark circles really aren't a concern for me. So this is just a good day-to-day go-to concealer, and I've been using all three of these things together for just my quick day-to-day face. I think you'll see that in a vlog, just me getting ready. This is like what I throw on to run to the store. I think it wears pretty gracefully and nicely under masks without coming off too patchy. It just wears away and your skin peeps through, but it doesn't look crazy. They're more a little bit lighter coverage foundations. Like this, I kind of sheer out on the day-to-day, but I can build this up and do it with a more glam look if I want to. So I like the versatility of that foundation. Another complexion product I really enjoyed is the Fenty Beauty Cream Freestyle Cream Bronzer. Jigs Out Cream Bronzer. These have way too long names. It's the cream bronzer from Fenty in the shade Amber. This is the perfect contour shade. It does so good. It mimics shadow so beautifully. Lovely undertone on this, and on my pale ass skin, it is a perfect contour, and I would like to pick up maybe the lightest bronzer shade for the summer months. I think I might enjoy it because I have started to appreciate bronzers a little more and not looking so undead lately, so don't let today fool you. I have bronzed. The formula on this is absolutely beautiful. It's so easy to blend. It just melts into the skin, looks very skin-like, so natural on the skin. I think it is a beautiful product. It's creamy, but not too creamy. It is just the right balance. It's a very user-friendly cream contour, and I think it's worth checking out and worth the price point on it because it's beautiful, and I think the packaging is super nice. Same with the number 7 compacts. Like number 7's compacts are gorgeous. These look so high-end. They match the quality of the product on the inside, which is definitely high-end quality. So yeah, I've been loving that bronzer, by the way. I want to talk about a little collection from ColourPop, the Dark Blooms collection. I've been playing with the last, I don't know, since it came out. You know, since it came out, I've been playing with this. We know, you guys have seen how much I love this little collection. And first I want to talk about the blush that comes in the Baroque bundle, or is geared to go with the Baroque stuff. It is in the shade Vogue, and it is one of their powdered blushes. It's what I have on today. It is such a lovely blush. It looks so cool tone in the pan, but it actually can pull a little bit warm, and it's just very easy to wear. It is not very heavily pigmented either, so you're not going to go overboard with it, but it is buildable. I think it's a lovely formula. It's very easy to use, user-friendly blush formula. I think the packaging, of course, is absolutely stunning. So I've been pretty happy with this blush. I like the way it can be. It's more of a dusty rose type of shade, and is very harmonious with the Baroque palette, which we're going to talk about here next. The Baroque palette actually has these two duochromes in it that have a dusty rose kind of shift or base in there. I think it's the base is the dusty rose, and it's very similar to the blush, so they just tie in so beautifully together because it's got like a slight warmth in there. And these have like a green shift in it. Like this one has a very strong kind of greeny blue shift, whereas this one I think has more of the pinky, almost a little bit more of the dusty rose shift in it, and it's a little bit deeper. The quality of this palette is phenomenal, but what I really want to talk about is the unique color story within this palette. I honestly have not seen a color story like this on the market. I know it can look really blue in some lights, like right now when I'm looking at it in my viewfinder, it looks really blue and navy blue all over, but it's really not. It is a confusing palette. You can't really get the true color story until you see it in person and the nuance of the palette. Well, it may just look like a massive gray or a massive navy blue. It is an overwhelmingly cool tone palette, but it is one of the most user-friendly, surprisingly user-friendly palettes in this type of color story. It is just, I don't even know how to describe it. I had such a fun time, such a pleasant time playing with it. I didn't struggle at all. A lot of times with these cool tone type of shades, very gray-based shades, I tend to struggle a little bit. They were just very effortless to use. The undertones make them incredibly flattering, which you don't get a feel for unless you see the palette in person and see an application. This row here, or some of these shades have a very beautiful, almost eggplanty purple undertone to them, and you don't see it unless you really like look at them or swatch them and apply them to the eye. You see the undertones come out, and it's so pretty and so nuanced and unique. Whereas some of these shades have more of a greeny undertone, some are more navy blue based. It's a very unique palette. You get a variety of finishes in here. You do get the two duochromes. You get one of the sequinedy type formulas with the pressed glitters in there. 2 or 3 of those. Yeah, you get 2 of those. or 3, which you can also kind of make work as a matte too if you buff them out, or you can apply them with the finger and really press them on the lid and get those shimmers because they're very packed with shimmer. But the mattes in here are gorgeous. I've created a few looks with this palette thus far. I'll link them in the eye, but I've just really enjoyed that palette just because it really is something different that I haven't seen on the market from any brand, to be honest with you, that kind of color story. Next is the Ornate palette, which is of course the very warm counterpart to Baroque. I didn't get the neutral one, it just looked super boring. I don't remember what it was called, but this one I absolutely adore because it looks so rich and royal and just my kind of colors right here. It has these beautiful red shades in it in varying depths and undertones. Like one's a little bit more purpley, one's got a little bit more brown in it, then you do have more of a chocolatey brown. You have this nice orangey warm red here that's a little bit lighter. In this you also have the 2 duochromes, one that shifts more orangey and then one that shifts a little bit deeper bronzy gold, and then this amazing shade in the corner up here called Gilded that is so stunning. It has this beautiful iridescence to it. I mean, it's just this bright, vibrant golden iridescence that is so surprising, like a peachy gold shift in it, and it's gorgeous. And you have this really fun mustard up here, and I think you can get a good variety of looks from this palette depending how you pair the shades and have a lot of fun. If you like warm tones and want something a little bit different than your typical warm tone neutral palette, this is one to definitely look at, and these are so affordable and the quality is just outstanding. But yeah, you do have one of the sequin shades in here, and it has some really pretty complex glitters in it. It has like bronze and gold and greeny glitters within it. Gorgeous palette, absolutely gorgeous. And I believe you can also find those on sale at Ulta. I saw them, I think, on sale at Ulta, but they have them on the ColourPop website, which leads me to just in general, I have loved ColourPop lately. I picked up a bundle of like, was it 5, 6 of their little small palettes like this. This is just 3 of them that I have out that I want to play with because I haven't dug into making mauves yet. And it's so pretty, and I'm just absolutely in love with That's Taupe. Love this one so much, but I've just been impressed with the quality of all of these. I really like Nude Mood also. Like, it's super kind of boring, but I really like this palette. It feels like a warm hug, and I like it. And I've done some really pretty looks with it, I think, and I just really love the color story of That's Taupe. It is a condensed version of the Cool Tone Glam palette from Natasha Denona. You kind of can't beat this for the price. Again, the nuanced shades, very nice. Pictures don't do it justice. And you have a beautiful Super Shock shade here. This is a fantastic, just everyday palette you can also get a little bit of glam from. And I say the same for Nude Mood, just depending on what kind of color story you like. I've also really enjoyed playing with the Big Poppy palette. That one was really fun. So just on a whole, I've had me a little moment with these small ColourPop palettes and enjoying the hell out of them. And one more eyeshadow palette that I do want to talk about that I think I have a pretty well-rounded opinion on at this point is the Waiting Room palette from Melt Cosmetics. This is from the Beetlejuice collection. It is the one with all these fun reds in there and grays at the top here, or bottom technically. Overall, I enjoy this palette. I have some caveats with it. It is not a user-friendly palette. It is not going to be a palette that one would reach for, I think, on a daily basis. I don't think it's not a well-rounded palette, in my opinion. I feel like you're going to want to pull in another palette like She's in Parties, like I did for this look today, or maybe even the Ornate palette, to kind of get some grounding colors or a little bit something else, because I don't feel like the 2 burgundies in here have enough variation between the shades to really accomplish much. They're just so similar, and the same for these 2 grays. In application, they're basically the same. One just has a little bit more depth than the other. I think if they had made maybe these 2 just a little bit lighter or slightly different undertone, there would be more versatility and nuance in the palette. There's not much nuance in this palette. Aside from that, these 3 metallics right here, Lydia, Sod Girl, and Dante's Inferno, are an absolutely beautiful velvety formula. I love the formula. And the mattes are a really nice formula as well. I think some of them are pressed pigments and they can be a little overwhelming. I would say just work in small increments when you work with this palette. If you have it and are having trouble, really tap the brush off. Get as little product as you can, build very slowly, or else you will get kind of overwhelmed in the eye with it. The one shade that is just a real dud for me though is the shade Juno. If it had the formula of these three, I would be way more satisfied with the palette, and if there had been a little more color variation. Like, I just think one of these reds could have been maybe a little bit warmer, you know, a different type of red that could play a little bit better with Dante's Inferno. While they look good in the palette together, I feel like there was room for just a little bit more scaling in the shades. Like, we could have had a little bit more contrast with these shades, the mattes in the palette, because I feel like they just kind of blend together and turn into one color. There's not enough difference between them. But anyways, Juno up here is super chunky, flaky. It doesn't like to build up well. When you do build it up, it gets really textured looking and looks really kind of not good. But in a sheer kind of way, as a topper type of product, it looks nice. It's a palette with a little bit of a learning curve, and if you're not a hardcore like Melt Cosmetics fan or Beetlejuice fan, I don't think you would really get that much out of this palette, just the average consumer. Okay, and we're getting towards the end of products to talk about. Jumping back over to the Baroque collection, I picked up the little lip set duo that went with that. And this is Luxe Lip Kit, and I have a Luxe Gloss from ColourPop and a Luxe Velvet. First thing I want to talk about is the gloss. I'm not in love with this gloss. Like, the shades, okay, I don't think I like the formula. Like, it's kind of thin. I just don't feel like it, I don't know. I didn't love the formula of this gloss. I don't like the taste of it. It's not my favorite gloss on the market, that's for sure. I don't think I'll be inclined to pick up another Luxe gloss, but it was cool to get to try it in the little set. There's something about the smell and taste of it that just I really don't like, and I wasn't impressed with it. I mean, it's pretty, but after using it a few times, I'm just really not the biggest fan of it. It's a little milky looking. I'm not fond of the milky looking glosses. But on the other hand, the Velvet, Luxe Velvet, very nice formula. I do like the formula of this. It reminds me of the Ultra Satin Lips a bit. It has a bit of that more powdery finish, kind of oh shoot, what are those called from NYX? I can't think of what they're called now. But it's more of that, it's long wearing, but it's not transfer proof. Just very comfortable formula. This is a very comfortable formula. It's very thin, and I like the shade a lot. I love these mauve tones like this, and I like the applicator. But again, it has that weird taste and smell as this one that I just don't like it. It's very plastic and chemically. It's just kind of gross. There's something about this just doesn't taste or smell good when you use it. But I do like the shade of this one. So I'm not completely turned off of the Luxe Velvets. The gloss, I don't think I'm gonna pursue anymore in that particular line. I do like ColourPop's regular glosses, and I expected these to be a little better since they're called Luxe. I do like the packaging a lot, but it's just a little meh about the gloss. I feel like it gets everywhere. It doesn't have longevity at all, but I do like the little velvet lip. It is nice. But again, that taste and smell kind of really put me off and make me not want to purchase any more of these particular formulas. That being said, I love the Ultra Mattes from ColourPop. That's what I'm wearing right now. I love their satins. I usually really love their lip products. So that was an odd experience. Speaking of gloss, two glosses that I absolutely love and am obsessed with are the Maybelline Lifter glosses. These are phenomenal glosses. They have hyaluronic acid in them. They make your lips look so plump and juicy and just so good. And I have absolutely adored them. I like them so much that I actually bought a second one. I'm not that big a gloss girl. Like, I'll buy one in a collection and be like, I'm good. But I had picked up the shade Moon. Just loved the way it looked on the lip. It is in color not that dissimilar from the Luxe one, but the formula is so much better, and this doesn't have the milky quite opacity as this one does. This one, it kind of dulls down your lipstick a little bit and has that little bit of a white kind of milkiness to it. This one goes on much more clear with a bit of pink in it. I think it's pretty similar to the original Fenty Gloss Bomb. It's got the giant doe foot. The smell and taste are pretty pleasant if you like coconut. I don't like coconut very much, but it doesn't bother me. It's not offensively coconut, and it's nice. And just the formula is so good. And I really like the shade Moon a lot. It is just a good go-to neutral, a little bit cool, dusty kind of shade. I like it a lot. And then I picked up the shade Stone. It doesn't have any shimmer in it, where this one does have some shimmers. And this one's more of a neutral kind of tan shade, kind of a peachy tan, and it is just as beautiful of a formula. It has a little bit more color to it. I really, really like this. These make your lips feel so hydrated. It feels like a lip balm, and they're really good, and I can't say enough good things about them. I'm really tempted to buy even more of them because I like them and I think they look nice. The packaging is really luxe and nice, and just really all around impressed with these. And I'm not that big a fan of glosses. I don't know what's happened, but something with the lip gloss has improved these days. And when you use those and then you try to use that ColourPop one, it's so disappointing. Cause it's like, oh, you're not the Maybelline lifter. But I mean, these are just hands down, like, I think my favorite glosses ever. And I really like these two shades a lot. So yeah, I think that rounds out my product updates for right now. If you like this format, let me know down below. Let me know some things you're currently really liking, and if you've tried any of these products, how do you feel about them? Try to link these all down below in case you're interested. Amazon links are affiliate links, otherwise they are not affiliate links. They're just there for your convenience. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Stay safe and stay spooky. Bye.